it's Bro You Whack. Welcome to the second Overwatch 2 tier list video. Our first one was at the beginning of the first beta, and now we're doing it at the end of the second beta. I figured we're all pretty used to all the hero reworks and changes over the past couple of weeks, plus with the addition of the Junker Queen and Swordsman shaking up the meta a little bit, we can have a pretty good judgment calling where these heroes are going to be placed at. But real quickly, can we recognize that this video, it's literally all just for fun. We don't need to send me death threats just because your favorite hero isn't at the exact spot where you think it should be at. But if you're still gonna hate me after this video, then you can sleep at night knowing that I hate me more than you hate me. D.Va's up first, and while she was one of my favorite tanks to play, a lot of time I just felt like I was feeding with her, while the extra defense matrix juice is nice, and also having half armor can help prevent that feeding nature. A lot of time I feel like this big giant pink ball is this easy target for anybody to shoot, which is why I'm putting her in the C tier, just a very average tier for her. Doofus is up next, and while I thought at the beginning of the first beta he was gonna be the best tank to play, of course this is Doofus we're talking about. He can't live life without getting nerfed. His size of slam got nerfed, his block got nerfed, his damage got, like, so much got changed with Doofus in the first and second beta, to the point where I feel like you still have to pour a lot of time into him, and you can't just automatically win with him, especially with the feeding potential, which is why I'm going to be putting him in the C category of heroes right next to D.Va. But that doesn't mean he's worse than D.Va. I'm just not trying to organize each specific tier anymore, just because, like, it makes it more difficult to do that. C tier is where Doofus is at, though. The Junker Queen, the newest hero in Overwatch 2, and somebody that definitely won't be mistakenly placed at a tier list that they don't belong in. I feel like the Junker Queen was a very fair hero to play with and a very fair hero to play against. I truly didn't feel like she was super overpowered because you have to land your knives to get the full power out of her, but if you land your knife and axe them, so many insta-kill opportunities. But there's also a lot of counter opportunities in the form of Ana sleep dart or an Ana anti-grenade, plus she has to play up close and personal, and with popular heroes like Ana or like Zenyatta being in the mix, being able to push you away or being able just to naturally scare you, yeah, maybe the Junker Queen doesn't belong in the S tier where a lot of people might have thought she was at the beginning of the beta, but I feel like a B tier is a very solid place to put her at. Now for Orisa, I don't know what they did to my girl. They reworked the reworks for her from the first beta, and I absolutely hate it. Plus her ultimate, it's still terrible. Like, she's a stationary target that has to charge up, and she's just taking all this damage. They either need to make it instantaneous to where you can slam it and do like 300 damage or something, but D tier is where I'm gonna be putting her because I hate her new form. Go back to the old one. It was perfect, at least for me. Reinhardt. Everyone was so scared about how he was gonna be as a solo tank and how he got 2 extra fire strikes, but for the trade-off of less shield and all the other reworks that he got, they were scared that he was gonna be less tanky, and even in the second beta, he got a nerf to his health pool. But I still feel like for the average tank player, Reinhardt's a very solid and very manageable tank to play. And the fact that there's less shield blocking your Earth Shatter, which is an awesome ultimate just for Reinhardt alone, puts him in the B category of heroes. But that doesn't mean he's worse or better than the Junker Queen, just again, ABC order. Roadhog, he's a big boy with some big dreams, but he's gonna get stopped by an anti-grenade, and that's just what's the sad reality about playing Roadhog, is that if they're playing Ana, good luck. A C category of heroes. He would have been considered a D tier hero, but I feel like Orisa claims this whole entire tier by herself. The best buff that Sigma got in the second Overwatch 2 beta is the fact that anytime you shoot him in his foot, there's a voice line that plays, ooh, should've worn shoes, which is why I'm putting him in C tier. That's not the reason, but I just feel like he's like a lesser version of Reinhardt. Not very DPS-y, not very good at setting up, but if you want to set up, just play Reinhardt. Now, if you find yourself feeding with Reinhardt, always charging forward, you might want to look towards Winston, and that's exactly what I did in the second beta. I was wrong about the Scientist. He's a lot of fun to play, but he's also very effective of a hero to play. Even if you're not that good at managing the role of a solo tank, the fact that you have such a forgiving bubble, an ability that lets you jump out of situations, plus being able to counter so many heroes like a Genji or a Soldier or a Cole, just like so many heroes that you can protect yourself with, I feel like is the reason why he's claiming the A tier of heroes. So for Hammond, I don't know what to say about him other than the fact that he has 700 hit points and a death to shield that gives him, like, what, an extra million health pool points, but also considering the fact that there's not a lot of CC on the field, like with a Cole Cassidy flashbang or a Mayfreeze getting removed, you can outlive so many more counters now in Overwatch 2, but living long doesn't mean effectiveness, which is why I feel like he's less desirable of a tank to play, considering that you can dive with Winston, or dive with Devo, or survive with Reinhardt maybe. C tier is, I think, where he's going to be placed at. The Hammond Mines are pretty good, it's just he's one of those heroes that is not built for the average Overwatch player. There's always a few heroes in my tier list videos that I put at a specific tier because I thought was good, and Zarya is the perfect example. With 2 extra bubbles giving you a million charge at a given time, plus a grab that's still one of the best ultimates of all time, she's basically like a third DPS if you manage her correctly. Plus a shield generator that allows you to gain your health even if your healers are ignoring you. Yeah, she deserves the A tier. Why? Because I said so. That's the only reason why. So if we're just ranking on looks alone, if we're just talking about Bob specifically, of course she'd be S tier, but in Overwatch 2, you obviously have less shields blocking your shots, so I feel like that indefinitely makes her a better DPS hero to play in Overwatch 2. Like, compared to Overwatch 1 and Overwatch 2, I feel like Ashe isn't all that different, but isn't all that worse of a hero, so I feel like the B category of heroes is really good. It just depends on what tank is being played. If it's a Reinhardt or a Diva, might be a little bit harder. If it's a Roadhog or an Orisa, might be a lot easier. Bastion, I fell into the hype for your rework, but then I realized your hitbox is still one of the biggest out of all the DPS, and considering the fact that tanks give you 30% less ultimate charge if you do damage on them, if I see a Bastion, I'm shooting that boy. Like, I'm sorry, you're really cute with your new hat, but I gotta do damage on you because you're gonna be giving me the most ultimate charge. Plus, the damage that you do, it's good, but it's still a very niche hero to play. Less niche than Overwatch 1, but in Overwatch 2, his biggest downfall is himself. He needs just to slim down a little bit and maybe be a little bit better. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to spread the news that I found the light. I have fallen in love with Cole Cassie's new magnet grenade. At first, I didn't like it. I was an avid user, admittedly, of the Flash Fan the Hammer combo. I know, so disgusting. But then I realized the magnet grenade is just as cheesy as the flashbang. All you gotta do is headshot and throw the magnet grenade and you get an insta kill. Or vice versa, throw the magnet grenade and then get a headshot. Or did I already say? All you gotta do is get a headshot magnet grenade and you get so many kills. So good. Yeah, I'm putting him in the B category of heroes. He can still easily get countered by like Diva and stuff like that. He's the best DPS, but the magnet grenade, very nice. So for Echo, I've been saying this for months now. Her biggest downfall in Overwatch 2 is the fact that ultimates just charge a lot slower, given the fact that there's one less tank on the field, but also given the fact that there's 30% less ultimate charge when you do damage on a tank. And that wouldn't matter if it was just considering like the ultimate that you would get, but after using the ultimate, it's reliant on you building another ultimate. And for a Roadhog copy, yeah, that won't matter, just heal yourself. But for someone like maybe the Junker Queen, it's a little bit more difficult, but she's still a good DPS. Why did I just start? I'm putting her in B tier, all right? So Genji, he's always gonna be kind of like an upper echelon hero because he's the biggest skill gap hero. If you're good at Overwatch and good at Genji, you're really good. If you're bad at Overwatch and bad at Genji, you're probably me. But you also need to consider that, okay, someone like Winston is a popular tank to play who's heavily countering Genji. But also Zenyatta, he's got a new kick, someone that Genji originally countered but can now get pushed away a little bit. That doesn't make him a worse DPS hero to play, but if like I can't deconsider the fact I can't just ignore the fact that if you're good with Genji, you can be the most effective DPS hero of all time, which is why he's at A tier. Oh god, Hanzo. Okay, so the reason why I hate Hanzo so much is because he's so good. He can get insta kills from long distance. His storm arrow is so cheesy to use, but it's still effective. Grab Dragons is one of the best ultimate combos that can win you any touches. He's in B tier, right? Can we rework him? Like, he doesn't need a rework, but for my sanity, please? Please! Junkrat, the same problems that he has in Overwatch 1 is now in Overwatch 2. Originally, he was in D tier because his steel trap no longer stops people. They changed it, fortunately, because they realized, hey, Junkrat's already so bad. But again, he's one of those heroes that if you have like a million hours on him, you're super effective. Like, only true Junkrat one tricks can do good with him, but if you're not, he's very tough to try to master the concussion mine, master the counters like a Pharah, or long distance heroes like Soldier or Cole Cole Cassidy, or even Genji, someone that could just instantly kill you. So C tier is where we'll be putting him. If he had the steel trap nerf, D tier, but no, C tier is what he's gonna be put at. Hot gamer boys and Negroes everywhere, we have arrived to my favorite hero, Mei. Originally, I overreacted in my first tier list video, and I put her in F tier, and that's because I didn't like the rework. But then I realized all you gotta do for Mei is just spray and pray. Literally, everything up close, just spray and pray. Don't even worry about the secondary fire. If you're not good, like me on keyboard and mouse, just spray and pray. You do the same amount of damage, which is why she's in B tier. Pharah, year after year, I always say this, has the easiest counters to name off. Soldier 76, Cole Cassidy, Bastion, Ashe, and if you don't have a Mercy, which I'm not considering Pharmacy, especially after seeing what they did to Mercy, you're not gonna be getting a pocket anytime soon. That's why we're putting her in C tier. She's an easy hero to counter, in my personal opinion, that desperately needs a Mercy, and you're not gonna be getting it in this economy, bro. You're just not. Same thing with Reaper. His stock dropped with the recent tanky economy, so now he's not able to farm anything. But that doesn't mean that his job is totally obsolete, because he can still go after the other squishies. You just gotta really look for, okay, well, what am I supposed to do as a Reaper? Am I supposed to go after the Winston or Roadhog? Yeah, probably, because those are easy heroes to counter. But if it's someone like the Junker Queen or Reinhardt, yeah, maybe don't go after those tanks and go after somebody else. So that's why I'm putting him in the B category of heroes. He's still a solid hero to do damage with, just his job as a tank buster is not really all that prevalent anymore. So for Soldier, my opinion about her is constantly changing, and rightfully so, because she's the second newest hero in Overwatch 2. But my first opinion about her, I feel like is coming full circle, where all you really gotta do with her is just charge a shot on one of the tanks, a Hammond, a Reinhardt, or Winston, and then turn around and snipe the Cole Cassidy, turn around and snipe the Mei, turn around and snipe the Zenyatta. Like, there's so many squishies and so many heroes that you can just counter just by killing them, and you're constantly getting that 100 charge rail shot. Plus the ultimate just gives you so much more of that. So that's why I feel like she's an AT hero, because if you have the aim, just like Genji, you're gonna be effective. But if you don't have the aim, that's where Soldier 76 comes in, because he aims for you, which is why I love him. But he also heals me, so that I don't have to beg my healers for healing. And also because he's such a forgiving hero when it comes to his damage output, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this tier list video, we have our first S tier must pick hero. He's a good general hero to practice. I feel like he's not going to be getting nerfed anytime soon. If you have good aim with him, you're going to be effective. But even if you don't, like, you can still do good with him, which is why I feel like he's just such a good all-around hero to play. Sombra, on the other hand, I don't have much nice things to say about her. The biggest problem with her, I feel like most people are just spending time being invisible and hacking rather than getting out of invisibility and doing damage. Like, when you hack somebody, you have a window where you do, like, what, 40% or some extra percentage of doing damage, and that could be really effective against someone like Zenyatta, who's still very, very vulnerable, or Brigitte, or Ana. So really, she's like a niche hero to play in the D category of heroes, but over time, she definitely will climb the ranks, because you start to learn the situations of when you need to come out of invisibility and stay out of invisibility. Okay, Symmetra, you have had a community that has defended you for years, saying that you can be an effective DPS if you just raise it to the 3rd tier, which is true. But even in the wake of your recent reworks in Overwatch 2, even your own community doesn't like you, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in this tier list, we have our first F tier hero. Listen, all they gotta do to just make her a D tier hero is just to go back to the old version of Symmetra. Like, yeah, she's not that good of a DPS hero where only a few people can see value in it, but with all these reworks, like, they didn't need to do that. That was completely unnecessary, and they completely demolished my girl. So Torbjorn's biggest problem is the fact that he's a defense hero, and since 2CP is no longer in the game, meaning that you're not playing on defense anymore, and you have a new push game mode, meaning that you're on offense like 80% of the time, meaning that your turret's not gonna be all that effective. So just like whenever your turret dies, I'll be screaming, "My baby!" and putting you in D tier. He can still be good, but the way that he's built just isn't built with this more faster paced Overwatch 2 nature. Tracer, on the other hand, fits the fast paced nature of Overwatch 2 perfectly, but not everything is all sunshine and rainbows. Get it? Cause she's... So the biggest thing that I want to mention is the fact that Tracer counters Zenyatta, but the new kick for Zenyatta I feel like was made just for Tracer, just to push her away, give him some space, but she can still kind of counter Zenyatta, still kind of can counter like Mercy and Ana, even with the new like heal ability that all the healers have. But Tracer, just like Genji, if you have skill with being able to aim and map knowledge, you can do good, but I feel like Genji is the better hero to play compared to Tracer, which is why she's in B tier. So for Widowmaker, we could talk about counters all day if they have a Winston, if they have a Diva, but you also gotta consider that there's one less tank countering you as Widow and also one less shield blocking your shot. So if you think about that and also think about the fact that it's a 5v5 and it just takes a couple of snipes on the squishy for you to be super effective with her, yeah, I think that's deserving of the B tier of heroes. She's not super overpowered. I feel like she's not super underpowered. It would all just depend on if she got a nerf that brings her down or if a must pick tank just is a super must pick that can obviously counter Widowmaker super heavily. Ana's gotten really good in Overwatch 2. She has a new self-healing ability, but she's also just a very good consistent healer for so many heroes, like a Genji that wants to play aggressive, or also a Soldier 76 that wants to play maybe around you and that wants to nano. But another big reason why she was really good specifically in the second beta is the fact that the most popular tank was the Junker Queen, and all you gotta do to counter the Junker Queen is sleeper, and that's so easy because the Junker Queen's right in front of you. But even if you miss the sleep dart, just anti the Junker Queen and keep your distance away from her and she won't be able to touch you, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time, she's gonna be placed at the S tier of heroes, merely because the Junker Queen is easily countered by Ana. Baptiste, I feel like he's getting lost in the shadows of all these other healers. I mean, Zenyatta gets a brand new kick, Moira gets a brand new orb ability, Ana is now able to heal herself passively, and Baptiste, he's been able to have all these gimmicks for years now, but the only thing that's keeping him relevant is the immortality field, which is why he's at the B tier of heroes. There's just better healers to play. You can only pick 2 healers, and yeah, picking Baptiste isn't the worst one, but you know, Ana, she's looking very spicy up there. You might want to try her. Brigitte, I feel like was a hero that was kind of also inflated due to the fact that the Junker Queen was so popular. I mean, if you want to run with the Junker Queen, play Brigitte. That is an excellent hero to play because, well, you don't really need a speed boost with Lucio because you already have it, but you still need that extra damage and somewhat extra sustainability that Brigitte can provide, which is why she's going to be in the B category of heroes. If we keep giving heroes Lucio's speed boost ability, he's about to become irrelevant, but luckily only the Junker Queen has his speed boost. Lucio, he's still an excellent hero to play, but I feel like he's kind of getting overshadowed by Zenyatta due to the fact that he has that kick ability. Discord Orb is so powerful, and Zenyatta, he's just a spicy boy, but he's not irrelevant. I feel like he's a little bit better than most of the other healers offered in the B category heroes, but not by much. All right, who skipped ahead to see where I was gonna be placing Mercy? I know you did. I know that's what a lot of people do. So with the recent Mercy reworks, I said this before, I feel like it wasn't necessary. And especially even with the second iteration with her new charge ability, being able to fly backwards is nice, but nothing can beat the Mercy super jump in Overwatch 1, which is, and this is the only reason why I'm putting her in the D tier. I'm still scared of the Mercy main community. If they didn't touch Mercy with their super jump ability, she'd be like in B tier, but they're actively just making her worse by trying to make her super jump more available to the public. No! That was the one thing that Mercy mains had. Let Mercy mains have their super jump and leave her alone. Leave Brittany alone. Moira, though, don't leave her alone. Continue. Well, actually, maybe don't continue to rework her. I love her new necrotic orb. And surprisingly, I feel like Moira's transition away from this main healer, like more balance of a main and secondary healer, into a more DPS support hero like Lucio and Zenyatta. With the necrotic orb, you weaken the enemy and you're able to counter a lot of heroes like a Soldier or a Cole Cassidy, or even sometimes some tanks, depending on which heroes be playing, like a Doomfist and a Junker Queen. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be putting her in the A category of heroes because she can win a lot more 1v1s now, given the fact that she can heal herself after you suck them up, but she also has a passive healing. She's just not gonna die that easy. And the final hero for the second Overwatch 2 beta tier list is Zenyatta. The kick alone drove up his stock, but since the Junker Queen was so popular, with the Discord up applied and kicking her her away from you, being able to get a few headshots meant that you were able to survive so much, which is why, ladies and gentlemen, for the third time, we're gonna be putting Zenyatta in the S tier of heroes. Hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, this is my second Overwatch 2 tier list, and please understand, this is all just for fun. Some of these might be wrong, like definitely the Drunker Queen is probably gonna be wrong, but maybe you think Zarya isn't the best tank and should be lower, but I really like Zarya. Maybe you think Mercy shouldn't be this low even after the reworks, but again, it's all just for fun, and it's also gonna change when the third beta comes out, if there is gonna be third beta, or when Overwatch 2 finally releases. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch and Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.